G'day everyone, Willow here. Look, this time of year we're in the middle of winter in Melbourne. One of the most common issues that people seem to be having at the moment is when they come in for lessons, they're saying that I've just lost so much distance lately. And the reason is we're in the middle of winter and it is Melbourne. So if you think about it, we have a fairly large temperature range from winter through to summer. We can be playing in, barely double figures here in Melbourne, say 10 degrees Celsius, through to summer where we're playing, mid to high 30s, so say 35 degrees. So a ball will always fly less through denser air, and colder air is denser air. So, it has more air to try and push through, so there's going to be more resistance. It's just not going to fly as far. And there have been studies done, and they've roughly calculated roughly about 2 meters per 5 degrees of temperature. So for instance, if you're playing on a 10 degree day versus a 35 degree day, there's roughly 10 meters of distance gone already before we start talking about anything else. So there's a full club just in temperature difference because of the denser air. You're going to be hitting it shorter at this time of year just because of the colder air. Now, also, if you have a look at a colder ball, and there's been studies done through all this. I mean, golf's one of the most studied sports, and there's so much swing advice, but it's so scientifically studied that they've done the studies on a cold golf ball versus a warm golf ball. So thus, if the ball's sitting on the fairway, and it's in the middle of winter and it's getting cold, it's not going to leave the face as fast. The materials of the rubber, materials that the golf ball's made out of, being rubber and all those polymers, isn't going to respond when it's as cold as what it is when it's hot. So sitting in the middle of the fairway on a 35 degree day, the ball's going to be a lot warmer. It's going to come off the face a lot faster. And you'll see a big difference with that with your driver as well. So not flying through the air because of the dense air. The colder ball is also not coming off the face anywhere near as fast. That can make a bit of a difference with your driver, 10, 15 meters just out of that as well. And then if we think about it, we're colder as well. So we're going to be layering up, wearing more clothes. It's going to reduce our movement, reduce our flexibility. Muscles are going to be colder and stiffer. So that's going to restrict our movement, slow our swing speed down a little bit as well. So when you combine those things, the ball's not flying as far. We're not hitting it as fast either. And then when the ball's hitting the ground, it's not running as far. So, in winter, you might expect your driver maybe to run only 10 meters, whereas in summer it might run 30 meters. So all these things add up big time to your distance. And I find in Melbourne, I roughly allow around about 2 clubs difference in between the middle of winter on a cold day and the middle of summer on a hot day. If I, for instance, would hit my 8-iron 135 meters, in winter I'd probably be hitting a 7-iron that far, and in summer it might be like a 9-iron nearly. Take into consideration the fact that we're in the middle of winter in Melbourne. The ball's not going to be flying anywhere near as far. You're colder, ground's softer, less run. The green's going to be a bit more responsive, so it's not going to take that big bounce and then roll before it stops. Whereas in winter, it'll probably sit down pretty quick, if not, plugs if it's wet enough. We can have a look at your technique, and there's always room to improve our technique and keep working on it. But now's a good time to make sure you are swinging efficiently to get the most out of it. You're not losing extra distance through then your swing, an off-center hits or a side swipe, so the ball's coming off even slower again. We need to swing as efficient as we can to get the most out of it, so we don't lose any more than the cold weather is costing us. So we can have a look at that. But now we're going to be on the golf course a bit less. There's some rainy days, perfect chance to come down to the range. I mean, even though it's a nice day, you should be out there playing golf and making the most of it. Still a little chilly out there, but I remember nice warm office in here, but it is sunny. So, but yeah, we've had a really cold June, very wet as well. So perfect opportunity to have some lessons and practice on the range a little bit more rather than play out on the golf course. Not quite as enjoyable, but if you commence, and work hard on your game now, come sort of spring and into summer, you should be playing a lot better, and then you'll see obviously the advantages of the warmer weather and hitting the ball further. So look, I hope this goes a little way into explaining why we don't hit the ball quite as far during winter. And yeah, being so far south, I guess the temperature ranges are different, so we do notice it quite considerably here. But yeah, people come in and say, oh, I was hitting it much further in February and March, and I just seem to have lost all my distance. So yes, it can be technique, and we do look at that, but I also do explain that it's winter, it's cold. So look, hopefully I'll see everybody down at the range soon. I'm free for lessons. Check my diary out. It can get fairly busy as well at this time of year, so if you plan a little bit in advance, you'll get the day and time that suits you best. If not, just flick us an email or send us a text if you got my number, and we'll find a time that suits. But I hope everybody's staying warm and well and working hard on your games. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Cheers. Willow out.